So to be a school counselor in Texas, you have to have a master's degree. Does your bill require chaplains to have a master's degree?
No.
To be a school counselor in Texas, you have to teach in a classroom for 2 years. Does your bill require a chaplain to teach in a classroom for 2 years?
No, sir.
Does your bill specify any qualifications for chaplains serving in our schools?
I don't think there's any specific qualifications.
Does your bill define what a chaplain is?
I believe it does. Does the bill? I'm looking at it. I mean, it's chaplains are defined in many areas of our government.
The unseriousness of so many state-level legislators is on full display here. Texas Republicans continue to irresponsibly install anyone that fulfills their personal approach to life into positions of influence in society. This time, they want unqualified religious chaplains to boot school counselors. And this guy didn't think qualifications were necessary before working with children. But it got worse.
Representative Hefner, are you aware that there are internet services that will ordain a chaplain with just 40 hours of online training?
I'm not advised.
I offered an amendment to the original bill to require these school chaplains to respect the free exercise of religion, and you refused to accept that amendment. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I offered an amendment to require parental consent before children can meet with a chaplain, and you refused to accept that amendment. Is that correct?
I don't recall all the details of that day.
Okay.
It's been a few days.
If you ask a few obvious questions, you'll discover that Representative Hefner's actual motivations are to indoctrinate your kids to believe whatever untrained and unqualified chaplains tell them. If your kid doesn't practice that chaplain's religion, Representative Hefner made sure to reject his or her freedom to avoid them. If parents don't want their child to meet with an untrained chaplain that appears to be there to preach to your child instead of providing them with guidance, he can't remember if those parents won't be notified. Somebody should get Ron DeSantis on the phone because radical Republicans are sneaking behind parents' backs to brainwash your kids.
National School Chaplain Association testified in favor of the bill both in the House and the Senate. Have they helped you with this bill at all?
I don't recall. I had input from a lot of different people.
Are you aware that the stated purpose of this organization is to, quote, enhance God's presence by infiltrating the system?
I'm not advised.
Do you know Rocky Malloy? He's their CEO, testified in favor of the bill in the House and the Senate.
I've met Rocky.
Has he worked on this bill at all?
They provided some input.
So are you aware that Rocky Malloy has said chaplains are not professional counselors, children don't need professional counseling, they just need to be heard?
I'm not familiar with that.
He said he has a phone app that gives instructions on how to pray with students who are suicidal. Do you believe that the answer to kids who are suicidal is for them to pray and not get professional mental health counseling?
That has nothing to do with this bill.
I'm not sure how much worse and hypocritical this can be. A special interest group whose purpose is to infiltrate the system and get into your kids to tell them via phone apps that they should pray away suicidal thoughts helped write the bill that an elected official can't decipher. The only thing that would make this attack on your children worse is if the guy that told Texas Republicans how to infiltrate and control your kid's life is a convicted criminal. But it can't be that bad.
Are you familiar that Rocky Malloy describes himself as a former drug smuggling pirate saved by divine intervention?
I'm not aware.
And he's admitted to being convicted of international drug trafficking?
I'm not advised.
The gentleman's time has expired.